Hello and welcome to Tarot Q&A Tuesday. You're with Fiona McLeod from Oracle Encore, and today we're answering questions that people have submitted before this minute. But you can ask a question right here, right now. If you'd like to punch it into the comments section, I will absolutely pull a live reading for you. We're using the tarot, which is a fantastic portal into our subconscious mind. This allows us to kind of get a torch and shine it into the areas of ourselves that we're not aware of, yet could be causing us some havoc. The tarot is so good for understanding our challenges, learning our lessons with clarity, and then not having to repeat those patterns, not repeating the same old drama in our life. So we're going to begin with Leah's question. She has asked about a new guy who is showing interest in her. I have a guy showing interest, but I'm wondering if it's a healthy situation. Shall I take the time to have some fun, or is it not worth getting too invested in? Let's just get a pull for the dynamics between the two of you. Now, before I get into that, guys, what we will do after this particular reading is we're going to pull a card, or maybe two or three, for the collective conscious. That means that if you're not asking a question, there's going to be a message just for you. So hold on, because it's not too far away. We're starting with Leah. We want to know, what is the vibe of this current guy who's showing interest? So it is tuned into Leah's energy. And we will be pulling the card. Yeah, it's an interesting one, Leah, because what we see here is basically a guy who's not getting the level of emotional fulfillment that he's wanting. Whilst he's being offered various different ways of giving you some love, there seems to be a lack or a difference in what your languages of love may be. So he is not necessarily a bad match, but you may find that he's not necessarily meeting your emotional needs. Does that mean that you change yourself and adapt, or is it just a no-go? We will get a potential card. It just feels like a no. Long term, should you have some fun? I mean, does that just mean, friends with benefits? Yeah, you can definitely do that. However, it does require you setting yourself up to not be hurt or not be invested, like not get attached. And that could be the only tricky part. The other thing about being in connection with him is it may stop you from being open to something that's more of what you desire. Okay, I hope you love that reading, Leah. We're going to whip into the group collective reading to see what we all need to hear right now. Do we need one, two? We're going to get three cards, guys. Three cards, and then Renee, we're going to ask one of your questions next. Whew, thanks for being here, Renee. It's always good to have these people live. Now, what we are talking about here is, it feels like I was going to say a work situation, yet it doesn't have to be work. What we're talking about, it is a practical situation, like a human experience of being able to survive in our life. So what I mean is the difference between our physical reality and our spiritual reality. So we're looking at a new project or something that is in its infancy to do with anything that is, like, it could be buying a house, it could be getting a new job, it could be changing direction within your business. So think of things like what it means to be a human getting by in life. So we buy a house, we get practical, we organize our finances, we get a job, we start business. So business, finance, house buying, anything that is building this foundation of your life, it feels like there is a start of something going on for everybody getting this message. Like I say, it can simply be a new initiation within your job or business. There's definitely something fresh, a new idea. And there's a message here around that, which basically is telling you, us, all of us, to be mindful of your thoughts, because this is what keeps you trapped and makes you feel stressed. So for example, if your new venture is actually to buy a house, maybe you're lying awake at night or thinking that it's more difficult than it is because of the way you're thinking about it, rather than just going with your gut instinct. If you just release your thoughts and step away from this thinking about the change that's happening or this new project you have on the go, if you step away from that, go for a walk along the beach or do a meditation or have some fun with friends, then you'll just know. You'll like come back to the topic, buying a house, getting a job, changing your work regime, and you'll just have this, actually, this house is not right for me, or actually, I don't want that job anyway, or yes, I'm going to launch into this new business idea that I had. So it's really encouraging you to not feel trapped and confused and conflicted and trying to make decisions with your head. Instead, step away from it and allow the answer just to pop up when you least expect it as a piece of inspiration. And when you do that, you actually give yourself an opportunity to be more of your authentic self. Now, that sounds like a strange thing to say after that story. What I mean is, when you use your intuition to make those decisions, you also take a step forward on the path that is your best soul's purpose. When we follow that feeling inside, we are naturally redirected to our best life, to our authenticity. And this means that we get to shine our light more. You become more and more shiny as you make decisions that are aligned with your essence, rather than trying to be that human person. And this really means that we can combine being a human with being a spiritual person. Sometimes people think that they're two separate things and you can only practice spiritual rituals at home. In fact, the opposite is most true. We have to entwine the two. And the first thing to do, and the first project to work on when you are wanting to bring your spiritual self into your entire life, your family, your work environment, your friends, your hobbies, is to start practicing listening to your intuition and feeling your body, because your intuition comes to you through feelings, through energy. So when you want to strengthen your intuition, you simply pay attention to how your body feels. And I can help you with this if you wanted to do some of the workshops I offer. We have intuition classes coming up within our Embodying Empowerment workshops, and you can join those. They are live Zoom calls, something to think about. Okay. Thank you, Renee, for the compliment. Now we are going to talk about Renee. She's got lots of questions here, Renee. We're going to start with the first one. Shall I pay for the surgery or myself and go to Turkey? I'm happy to do this and planning to go at the end of November. So should you pay for this procedure or wait for some of the funding, would be the obvious question there. We just need a yes, no question. I'm feeling yes is popping up within my vibe, within my intuition. However, we just want to get some clarity from the cards as well. And what I've got here is an absolute celebration card. In fact, these are three girls drinking wine, having a good time. And I guess that's the focus there, is what is going to bring you the most joy. What is going to bring you the most joy is the direction that you take. So if you want to go to Turkey and that feels like something that's going to light your fire and enhance your life experience, and to do that you would need to have that surgery before, then that's probably a logical way to look at it. But we've also got an intuitive way that suggests, focus on having fun and also focus on moving forward in your career, which is quite interesting because your next questions are about that. So let's just quickly launch into, will my projects as a writer-director be successful? Let's get a feeling for writer, director, producer all in one. So I'm going to choose a card for each of those just to get a feeling for what has the best energy, and then you can play it out the way that it feels right for you. But I said writer, director, producer, writer, director, producer, writer, director, producer. Okay. Writer, director, producer. Okay, what we have here, writer, this seems to be your greatest love. This is where, well, that's what it feels like. It's emotionally fulfilling. The directing does require a bit of patience. I think that's actually your reality as well, having to wait for things to come. But this is a journey. It's an evolving journey, and it's also encouraging you to talk to your angels regarding this process, because you can make better decisions if you are 1 foot in the spirit world and 1 foot in the land. Isn't it interesting that we've got this theme coming along today? So the Temperance card is about patience. It's also a yes card though, and it feels really aligned with your soul's journey. So I would give that a yes. Now, interesting, there's nothing wrong with being a producer or anything that, I mean, there's obviously nothing wrong with being a producer, but I mean, for you, but it does feel a bit more stressful, and is if the weight is all on your shoulders. And so it could be a bit extra responsibility causing extra burdens. That's just the vibe of it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It's just saying your love is with the writing. It's more of a heartfelt passion, or not passion, it's just, I would go as far to say hobby, but I know it's more than a hobby, but it's got that feeling about it that it's fun to do, as opposed to the directing, which is a road of evolving processes where it's twists and turns. So a bit more challenges, yet definitely worth the ride. Now, Renee says, getting it done. So I will go to Turkey because it's, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, well, either way, we got a yes. So we asked a yes, no question. And I see where you're going with that. Do you go to Turkey? I just want to double check on that for you. I see where you are going with that. Interesting, because either way, the story is there. It's that if you, yeah, I'm still getting a yes, do that. And this will, the reason it's a yes is because it offers you opportunities to have more fun and joy and just really just happiness. So this the story is the same. You've given us different details. That's irrelevant with the tarot. We just need to know the vibe of a situation and whether it's positive or has some bumps in the road. And for you, it seems that if you can have that procedure, you will get a new lease of life where you can have more fun and do more of the things that you want to do. So I hope that makes sense. There you go. Jessica, we're going to pull Jessica a random card. It is so hot today here. A random card for Jess. Jess. All right. We have the 6th of Cups, which is about nostalgia. It is also about emotional connections. So random card, what do you need to hear about this? It is very much around, double checking that. Actually, this is a different one. I've just got a feeling it's important for you to connect in with some past friends, really just reconnect with some people that you might not have seen for a while. Maybe that's going to lead you to another stepping stone towards what would be great for you. However, it could also just be that it's a good time to catch up with people. This just makes me want to say to you, it's always interesting about that saying. It says things happen for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And a lot of times people come for a tarot reading with me and they want to know why, and they want to know answers about why things didn't work out. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe they met somebody and they had one date, or they met somebody and it wasn't even a date, but it felt so connecting that they thought, oh, we're meant to be together forever. Yet that's not actually how it always works. Sometimes you've just met for a bit of fun in the moment, for a bit of joy in the now, to be fully present, and that is all. And we as humans put meaning on things and we think, oh my goodness, I've never felt like that about somebody in such a short space of time. I think that we're supposed to spend our life together, and then we create these stories and we go off and oh my goodness, and then we get heartbroken. So it's really about understanding how we can take ourselves off onto that story. And sometimes life is about being present. And for Jess, I just feel that it is important to have some present moments, like taking the time to be somewhere with old friends just because. Just because. And now let's whip into Tina's question. Here's quite a fun question. She probably doesn't think it's that fun, actually. She says, what the fudge do you do when the 69-year-old married man up the road who you are friends with tells you they're in love with you, and Tina is not interested in the slightest? So what do you do? Well, I mean, we can all have our opinion about what you might do about that. However, that is not necessarily what we're after today. We want the tarot's reflection. The tarot is saying, what does one do? What does Tina do? What does Tina do? Okay, well, this is not exactly the question that I was imagining was going to get. That wasn't the answer I was thinking we were getting. This is the Emperor. I'm going to grab one more card. What I'm thinking mostly is this means be logical about it, because the Emperor is so logical. He's all about his ducks in a row. He's very organized. He's just basic facts. He's not about anything to do with feelings or spirituality. And that sort of says, well, if we looked at this in a logical situation, one, married, it's a no-go. So that's an easy out, because obviously I can feel by your energy that that's not really in your repertoire of values to go into somebody else's marriage. And also, two, there's no passion there. So it is required to just be deeply honest, and it's really a nothing thing to do. What does one do? Follow your passions, keep on your own path, stay in your own lane, say no thank you, but thanks for the compliment. It's just a really logical answer. Is it a test? It's not a test. It's just a bit of flattery more than anything. And what is there importance to keep your distance? It is saying it probably would be advisable to not encourage that connection. It would be a lot happier and easier just to keep out of his way. It's not a bad person, but obviously we're talking logic. We're not going to encourage something that could potentially go very pear-shaped. Now, for all those watching, could you please give me 3 orange hearts in the chat? Or if you can't put a comment in, please give me a thumbs up, because I very much appreciate the support as I offer this as a free live reading every week. Now let's whip to somebody else's question. We have Shar. Shar asked a couple of weeks ago, so we better put hers into the list of importance today. I would like to know if my rental house will sell so I can buy my dream house, which I have a sale and purchase agreement on, pending on the sale of my rental property. Your insight would be amazing. Thanks so much, Shar. Will it sell in time for me to buy my dream home? Is it correct? I'm actually going to change your question, Shara. I'm going to say, is it correct action to sell the house? Hang on a minute. Hang on. Will it happen? And is it correct action? Is it correct action? It does. Yes, I'm getting a lot of positivity here. It's all about change. Absolutely. And this is, I just want to ask one more question about this. What are we getting there? Are you going to get it this time around? Are you going to get I just don't know if this is the dream home. I know it feels like it. The process, so in answer to, is this particular house deal going to go through? Sure. I don't feel this one is going through. I feel it's more the process will happen. You will sell it and get a dream home. I'm just wondering is it this house? There might be something better around the corner that you are unaware of yet. So trust the timing. Sorry guys, I've got a little bit stumped on that one. So we're just going to pull an extra card and get some clarity. Thank you, Leah. Hello, Ahope. Hey, Jenna, nice to have you here as well. Oh, Jess, I see you too. So I'm sorry I didn't see you all there before now. Do you want to ask a question there, Jenna? Right, let's see what's going on with Shar. Is this one of your questions? Shar, is this the one? No, I just still feel the same. I feel you're going to do the process, but not necessarily in this particular house. Okay, that's where I'm going with it. It is messy, so I'm not getting a clear understanding. Oh, I see you emailed me. Sorry, Jenna, I didn't get that. Might have come in a bit late. Brenda, good to have you here too. It's all go. Oops, I see another one. Brenda, what do I need to do to be ready to be in a new relationship, i.e., what best self-work? Okay, we'll get into Brenda's question and then we will quickly look yours up actually, Jenna. Brenda, what do you need to do as far as self-work goes? Great question, by the way. What do I need to do? How can I get myself into the space that is ready for a wonderful relationship? Find your passion. Follow your joy. Really follow your passion. This may seem like a daunting activity for some people when they don't know what they're passionate about. I know that sounds odd, but we do get a bit hidden under the rubble of life. So I'm going to explain how you can do this. To find your passion, you simply start with the baby steps of every day. You follow your preference of what you feel like you'd much more enjoy. That can be what you have for dinner. It can be a choice about going for a walk or going for a run. Just follow what feels good. And when you take that one baby step, the next baby step will show itself. You're not going to get the next step until you do the first step. And that's a trick that many people get kind of confused by. And they just want to know the outcome. But we have to do the first step first. And then the next part of the equation, the next step on the journey is a surprise. It's a surprise. And that's how we can trust the process. If you do it a lot, the more you do it, you'll see the results. So it simply starts by doing things that light up your heart. Find joy. And you know how I often recommend this to clients is to write a list of all the things you love. Everything from candles to open fires to the ocean to walks along the beach to kisses to chocolate cake to hundreds and thousands to hanging out with friends to drinking wine to having a good time. Whatever it is, start feeling into and reminding yourself of what you're passionate about, what gives you that, oh, life's pretty cool kind of vibe, kind of feeling, and then follow it. So you need to ignite the passion within you. Brenda, that is your answer. All right. Perfect. In fact, it's a good one for all of us. Let me just see what I found a question here. Blah, 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 blah. Shall I take, Leah's encouraged me to ask you about the house as I'm thinking of either taking it off the market or changing agents. So my question, shall I take it off the market or change agents or stick with it? The market seems to be at its lowest. Oh, house buying. All right, let's get into Jenna's energy. Jenna, is it correct action to sell the house now? And if so, which agent? Is it correct action to keep the house on the market? Be a better way of asking it, wouldn't it? Okay. Is it correct action to keep the house on the market? It does feel correct action to keep the house on the market. It does feel okay to do that. But there's missing links to this picture, isn't there? So let's just see, what do we need to do? You can't probably change the agent there. Is there something to do? Okay, this is actually a really good story, Jenna. What we've got here is you in your mind. We have a whole lot of stress and kerfuffle, and it just feels a bit conflicting, a lot of turmoil inside, which could be about the house and it could just be about life, could be about anything. What we're encouraging you to do, and don't knock this till you try it, okay, is to set your focus on new beginnings. We have the death card here, which is a fantastic card to get for where you're at right now, because it means new beginnings, the start of something new. More specifically, the death card is about illuminating your authentic self. The skeleton in this picture here is symbolic of your authentic self, and this sort of debris is falling away, and on the horizon you see the sun coming up. Now, I suggest what you do is you write this as a letter, as even a story, where you are telling the story of this great life and the excitement of what's to come when the house sells. The story does not need to be true. It can be completely made up. You can tell the story, and you're really getting into the energy of the positive vibrations of what you'd like to create when the house sells, rather than getting stressed out, because that is resistant energy, which is very low vibe, and it's not going to attract positive things into your life. So it's about setting up this new beginning. Like I say, write the story, write it as a story about how your life is going to look. And like I say, it doesn't mean it's going to look that way. It certainly just puts a new energy out into the environment. The other thing I would just suggest is actually doing a smudge stick around the house to cleanse the energy and all the nooks and crannies. Really get into every corner with a sage smudge stick to actually cleanse the energy, and look into a few little feng shui elements that you can add to improve the energy. Really bring it alive again, because when a house is on the market, it does feel a little bit stale when it's been on there for too long, and it really is all about the energy for you in this particular incidence. So, what have we got here? Who have I missed? Megan, I have 6 services offered in my business. Shall I drop one or more, or carry on as I am? Okay, Megan, are you offering too many services? The High Priestess just fell out, so it's kind of really encouraging you to use your intuition more, tap into that divine feminine consciousness, the conscious energy. Jenna, thanks. I will smudge. Perfect. I'm glad that you have picked up that bit of wisdom from the cards. Okay, Megan, what is the question in the term? Let's just get a feeling for it. Let's just get a feeling. You know what you need to do, Megan? Yes, is fill up your own cup first. You know, it's always annoying when you ask a question and the answer is obscure compared to the question, right? Yet this makes sense. If you are spreading yourself too thin, offering all these services, and actually you're not looking after yourself, then you're probably not going to be able to do any services, because you will be exhausted and not being able to put energy into any of them in 100% format. Therefore, we say, you know, you can do whatever you like in your business as long as you fill up your own cup first. So take care of yourself, your health, and then just enjoy the process of whatever services you're doing. It doesn't feel like you need to cut anything out. Just adapt the way that you are looking after everyone else. Start looking after yourself a little bit more. There you go. Perfect. Tanya, lucky last, unless there's any other questions in the chat on YouTube. Tanya has asked, Tanya's question, What have my guides got planned for me for the next 6 months? Well, we will pull you a card and give you an overview, Tanya. I'd just like to say that is quite a big question. And if any one of you on here would like a full 1 hour tarot reading, obviously you can book in with me. Just simply make a comment in the chat and I'll send you my email via the response. So that's fiona@sirensoul.com. If you want to email your question for next week or book in for a tarot reading. Hey guys, please can you give me a thumbs up because I need to get some traction in my YouTube channel. And if you're not a subscriber to Oracle Encore, which is this channel, can you please do so because I'd love to interact with you more often. And I appreciate you. Let's see what Tanya, what's the vibe over the next 6 months? What are the guides? Oh, very nice. Maybe you don't need a tarot reading after all, because this is the ultimate emotional fulfillment card. It is happy families. In saying that, there's something about this story that some tarot readers might neglect to mention. This is a 10. And the 10 is the end of a cycle. And that means that even the good must come to an end at times, and then we start something new. It's not to say we're going to have a negative glass half empty attitude. We are simply going to look at it with appreciation and gratitude for what is and get excited about the next chapter of your life. So I feel enjoy just being in life and focus on getting the emotional fulfillment. Do things that bring you that kind of satisfaction, as opposed to like money and working hard and, you know, exercising and anything that is not more emotionally related. I mean, do both, but focus on giving yourself the opportunity to be around others that give you that heartfelt, warm, fuzzy feeling, as well as do things like, if you're into art, paint some pictures, whatever it is that's emotionally connecting for you. That's the focus rather than doing practical life. All right. But if you want a reading, if you want a 1 hour reading, please book in. Any of you can do so anywhere in the world. I have recently decided only to do Zoom tarot readings now, not in person, as sometimes the energy can be very overwhelming for me as a bit of a sensitive soul. So there you have it. We're going to wrap it up, guys. Is there any last requests? Not from you. So here we go, guys. Thank you for the thumbs up that you just gave to me, and we will look forward to seeing you here 4:44 New Zealand time for some more wisdom from the tarot. Lots of love to you all. See you real soon. Bye. See ya.